Hi, my name is Adam, and welcome back to a very special episode of the A-List. It is a special episode because today we are starting our awards season coverage. I know it's July, I know the Emmys haven't started yet, but I need something. I need a crumb of some joy. Every year at the outlet I write for, we do our early Oscar predictions around this time, so I wanted to come on here and give my best picture predictions as of July 2025. This time is so fun to me because anything is possible. A lot of these movies have not been seen by anybody, so it's just purely speculation. And for me, it's fun to kind of get a rough idea down on paper and kind of see how it falls into place or falls apart as the season goes on. There's buzz around certain titles, a lot of names are being thrown around, but that will be completely different by the time we get to the actual ceremony next March. Today I'm just going to give you best picture predictions, but as the season goes on and we get more into the weeds on the season, I am going to be breaking down those categories more thoroughly and be incorporating more categories into this. For this video, I will be giving you a list 1 through 10, with 1 being the movie I am most certain is going to be nominated and 10 being the least certain. Once again, I have not seen many of these movies. No one has really seen most of these movies that I'm going to be talking about. And this isn't like who I think is going to win. This is just pure vibes of like nominations. So don't come into the comments being like, this movie is definitely not winning. I probably know that. It's just what I think will show up. So anyway, let's get into it. My 1 through 3 slot, I'm fairly confident these will be nominated. At number 1, I have Sinners. 2, I have Sentimental Value. And 3, I have Wicked for Good. Sinners is kind of the big blockbuster darling of the year so far. It's an original film. Ryan Coogler is a really well-liked and notable director in this industry. This is his first foray into an original film, but he's very well-respected, has churned out some really loved movies by critics, audiences, and awards bodies, and the film is a hit. It's a big win for original cinema. I also think the Academy has kind of opened up their hearts a little more in recent years to horror. I think it would be great to recognize it here, and I think it's going to do very, very well in the technical categories, specifically like production design, costume effects, etc. I think that will all make a really nice package and get it into a best picture lineup. Sentimental Value, I have not seen, but it premiered at Cannes, and Cannes was a buzz about it, just buzzing. I feel like this one is going to be a heavy hitter in the acting categories. I think we're going to see a lot of love for Stellan Skarsgård, Renata Reinsve, Elle Fanning. I think it could be like a screenplay contender. Writer-director Joachim Trier is no stranger to the Oscars. He brought us Worst Person in the World. I feel like this is kind of culminating in a big film for this award season. It also got acquired by Neon, and Neon knows how to run a campaign. Number 3, I have Wicked for Good. The first one overperformed last Oscars. It did very, very well nominations-wise. I said earlier today to someone that I think like the big win for Wicked Part 1 was just being nominated, especially our 2 leading ladies. You know, going into that award season, I did not expect Cynthia and Ari to get recognized just because this is like a musical fantasy. It's like a weird middle ground of genre that the Academy kind of doesn't always gravitate toward. But the fact that they showed up, the movie got 10 noms overall, and is just very well liked in the industry and among audiences. I think it's a good sign. I also think them performing at the Oscars was high-key a kickoff for this campaign. The noms were the win for Part 1, and now I feel like it's setting good groundwork for their campaign heading into Part 2. I don't know if its overall like package will be as big as Part 1, but I think it'll still show up well. Definitely think it'll show up again in Best Picture. I would say 4 through 7 I feel decent about. I think there's strong possibility they'll show up, but I could see maybe some factors coming into play that hinders it, whereas opposed to 1 through 3, I'm pretty certain as of July 2025. But at number 4, I have One Battle After Another. Paul Thomas Anderson is no stranger to directing a film to the Best Picture lineup. They don't always nominate him, but he has gotten several films in this lineup. It really just depends on reception. I have no reason to believe it will be bad. That trailer looked amazing, and depending on how it fares in other categories, I could see this being a nice contender. Number 5, I have Frankenstein. I'm a little worried about having 2 horror films in one Best Picture lineup. However, this is Guillermo del Toro. The Academy loves Guillermo del Toro. He won for his Pinocchio adaptation. Shape of Water won Best Picture. Pan's Labyrinth had a nice showing. He's no stranger to this stage. They love him. They love his artistry. And based on that trailer, this has him written all over it. I think it's going to be much stronger in the craft categories like production design, costumes. I think that's where it's going to really shine. But who knows? Maybe Oscar Isaac could pull off a nomination. I haven't seen it yet. I don't know. But I could see it kind of sitting in the middle of a Best Picture lineup as of right now. At number 6, I have Avatar, Fire and Ash. The only reason I have this so low is because this is now the 3rd installment in this franchise. The Academy loves Avatar. They loved the first one, and they love James Cameron. Way of Water didn't perform as well as the original, but it still showed up. It had a showing. I think the effects are pretty undeniable in these movies, and from what I am understanding, we're going to be exploring new environments, new Na'vi, so I think Cameron is going to be pushing the visuals even further. But we're getting to movie 3 out of 5, so I could see maybe it not having as strong a showing. I also feel a little nervous putting 3 major blockbusters in a lineup, but it's Avatar. And at number 7, I have It Was Just an Accident. This won the Palme d'Or, and Neon picked it up. As we've seen, there is a precedent for the Palme d'Or to show up in Best Picture and take it all home. It's a pretty good combination. I know Neon is going to run a really good campaign for it. I'll be interested to see if Iran, France, or Luxembourg pick it as its submission for Best International Feature, but as we've seen in years past, international features don't necessarily have to be the international pick for their country to be a Best Picture contender. Just coming out of Cannes, it feels like a strong package already. Number 8 through 10, I don't really know. I could change my mind about these films given any shred of information, you know what I mean? But for now, I'm just kind of putting them in there because I've kind of heard the most around them, you know what I mean? But I don't feel solid on any of these. But 8, I have After the Hunt. Luca Guadagnino hasn't had a Best Picture contender since Call Me By Your Name, but this material-wise looks very suited for the Academy. However, that trailer left me a little uncertain. I didn't love it maybe as much as others, but I trust Luca, so we'll see. I think if it is received well, it could be a major acting contender, and that package could propel it. We'll see how it does. At number 9, I have Begonia. I think Yorgos Lanthimos is no stranger to the Oscars or a Best Picture contender. He and Emma Stone are a winning combination. I also feel thematically, based on the little I know about this, it will resonate. I think it's very topical. We have these working class people kidnapping a billionaire CEO. I think that is going to resonate with people. And then at number 10, right now I have Jay Kelly. This is the latest from Noah Baumbach, and it will be going to Netflix. It's starring George Clooney and Adam Sandler. Netflix knows how to get their films nominations, which is why I have Frankenstein so high. I just know Baumbach maybe isn't necessarily as consistent at the Oscars as, say, a Guillermo del Toro. I definitely kind of just need to see how this is received to really feel one way or another. This could be a darling and really get raves and get audiences behind it, and I could see it being a major contender. It feels like all the elements are there. I just really need to see how it does. Just some honorable mentions that are hovering just outside my 10 that are easily going to be tossed around name-wise this season. 11, I have Marty Supreme. That is starring Timothée Chalamet, directed by, I think, Josh Safdie. I mix them up all the time. 12, I have Hamnet. This is the latest from Chloe Zhao, starring Jesse Buckley, Paul Mescal, and Joe Alwyn. At 13, I have Rental Family. This is the latest from Hikari, starring Brendan Fraser and Mari Yamamoto. Getting a lot of good early buzz, so we'll see. 14, I have Die My Love from Lynn Ramsey and starring Jennifer Lawrence and Robert Pattinson. All of these films, I kind of just really need to see what the vibe is. Die My Love premiered at Cannes and got some interesting reception. I feel like that's going to be a polarizing one, just given the subject matter and the execution of the material. Hamnet, I really don't know what to do with it. I don't know, but it's being thrown around a lot. So I want to keep it in there, so I keep my eye on it. But yeah, a lot of these I just need to see outside of either their initial reception or at all. Like some of these haven't even been seen yet. So I'm intrigued to see how it plays out. Like I said, this will all probably change. A lot of the fun of starting in July is like really how different it looks by the time you wrap the season. Or like in the case of last year, like I feel like a lot of people started having a Nora at their top, and like then it was maybe the Brutalist, and then it was maybe Conclave, and then it came back to Nora, and that was what crossed the finish line. So it's just like really fun for me to track that all season. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. If you love award season and all things like awards predictions, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, follow me everywhere. Emmys are coming up. I'm going to be doing an Emmys predictions video a little later this summer. And of course, we got more reviews, more lists, all the good things. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!